Hello, welcome to my channel, it's Lanson. Let's visit the museum first. This temporary exhibition requires an additional ticket. It's about last year and this year's best photos taken by journalists. The World Press is a journalist organization, and this exhibition is like an award to those journalists who wrote best stories. Let me tell you some facts about China. In Western world, everybody can become a freelance journalist. It doesn't require you to apply or register an ID card or a qualification. You can just pick up your camera, go to the war zones, and record everything you want. But inside China, you require a journalist ID. Only those journalists who recognized by the CCP can upload what they call news-related video on the internet. Other citizens can only upload non-political contents. Therefore, almost 100% of the journalists inside China will easily become the mouthpiece for the CCP. They will actively say nice things about CCP, otherwise they might lose their reporter's ID at the year end. That's how CCP brainwashed its people. Because when you open a Chinese newspaper, it will talk about nice things about China 100%. That's why I'm so touching today when I'm seeing this exhibition. When I see the Western journalist can be so free to report, to travel, to record and write down whatever they want. Even though China journalists have the same spirit, but they cannot do the same thing because their physical body was prisoned by the CCP. Another area that CCP take fully control is the education. Take this exhibition as an example. These walls won't give you a so-called correct answers, how you should or should not view this news from a particular angle. But inside China, every single piece of news must be reported by a certain angle, which is praise for the CCP. Even the bad news, media will try their best to cover the ass for CCP. Take the latest news as an example. In Xinjiang, 10 people died in the fire just because the government locked the fire exit for the whole buildings, just because they all follow the so-called zero COVID policy and locked everybody inside their home. When all this happened and people died, the government are now lying and they denied they never ever locked any fire exit, which is completely bullshit. And that's how evil the media inside China is. In this exhibition, World Press rated China as the worst degree of news freedom, and I totally agree on that. Many young generations who was born after 2000, since they grow up in this severe brainwashed environment, they become so ignorant and numb. They won't stand up and fight. They really believe in whatever CCP says, that China is like in the heaven and every other countries outside China is like hell. I was born in 1990s, and we are like the last generation who is still awake and know how bad the situation is. So in my understandings, the future is pretty dark in China. There is another story behind this episode. When I'm creating and editing this episode, and then I'm trying to upload this episode onto China video platform, and they require me to delete certain minutes just because they think it's sensitive. But they won't tell you like which part or which minutes or which seconds is sensitive, so you have to censor yourself. Yes, people who live in the Western world may be find it hard to understand this. In China, every video platform will hire millions of censorship workers to censor your contents. No matter how many followers you have a large number of followers or a small number, the size and the craziness of this whole censorship system is already far beyond Soviet Union. You know why I'm still wasting my time to argue with them? Because people in my homeland, they are already heard too many lies. They are surrounded by the rubbish news and fake history all the time. They need to listen and see what the outside world looks like. And that's my motivation to fight with this system on a daily basis. 希望我到时候剪出来的效果也会是给到大家这样的一种效果。那我们呢，就正式离开这个博物馆了。也不知不觉也过去了3个小时。